There are things a woman in her 30s and 40s needs to know, things the church isn't saying out loud. And the women who know these things are the ones getting married, building wealth, and walking in real peace. Yet most Christian women in this age group are skipping all of them. Not because they don't care, because nobody told them these things were even on the table until now. If you are a Christian woman between 30 and 49, this video was made with you specifically in mind. You are at an age where the things you do and the things you don't do carry real weight. And if you've been waiting on God for a relationship, for financial stability, or just for your life to feel like it's moving, what I'm about to share directly affects how long that wait is going to be. By the end of this video, you will walk away with specific habits, mindset shifts, and decisions that Christian women in this season need to put in place to position themselves for marriage, financial peace, and a life that actually reflects what they've been praying for. Most women in their 30s and 40s are praying for the right things, but preparing for none of them. That gap is exactly why so many are still waiting. Let's fix that. A lot of Christian women in their 30s and 40s are in a holding pattern. They're waiting for the relationship before they start making real changes. But the changes are actually what create the conditions for the relationship to show up. Preparation is not the same as waiting. Waiting is passive. Preparation is active. It requires you to make decisions today as if what you're believing for is already on its way. Many women say they want a husband, but their daily routine, their emotional availability, and even their schedule have no room for one. That's not faith. That's contradiction. Some women push back on this and say, God will send him when I'm ready. And that's true. But readiness isn't a feeling. It's a condition you build. Think about a woman who starts cooking at home regularly, manages her time well, works through her past hurts in counseling, and builds a life she's genuinely proud of. She isn't just waiting. She is becoming. That is a different posture entirely, and it produces different results. The woman who gets married is usually not the one who waited the longest. She's the one who used the time the best. And one of the most important areas to use that time well is your finances, lady. Marriages struggle, and one of the top reasons relationships don't make it past the early stages. Most women know this, but very few are doing something about it before a partner arrives. Financial clarity is not just about having money. It's about knowing what you have, what you owe, and where you're going. I'm going to get personal here because I think this will help somebody. When I was in my most serious relationship in my late 30s, preparing to get married, the one thing that became a real problem was my finances. The man I was planning to marry had put himself through law school with no debt. He had his own business. He was frugal, intentional, and financially responsible from a young age, and I was not. From the time I was 18, I had been accumulating credit card debt. By the time I was 30, I had $25,000 in credit card debt. Not student loans, credit cards. I thought I was ready to be a wife. I had the mindset. I knew how to work with someone. But financially, I was a mess. When he told me he couldn't marry someone carrying that kind of debt, I was too emotional at the time to receive it well. But he wasn't insulting me, ladies. He was telling me the truth. And I want to say something to you directly. Please learn to be more receptive. A lot of women on social media right now are telling other women, don't listen to men. A man can't tell me nothing. If that is your posture, you are already not ready for marriage. That mindset comes from being in the wrong circles. Women who are in good, healthy marriages will tell you that attitude does not work. You have to be willing to receive correction, especially from a man who has his life together. And I'm not just talking about a husband or a potential husband. I'm talking about any knowledgeable, caring man in your life. When I was planning to quit my job and go back to school full-time to pursue my graduate degree, my boss, a CPA, told me not to. He told me to wait 2 more years, invest my pension first. Now, I could have been stubborn, but I listened. And because I listened, I was able to retire at 40 with a vested pension. When I actually retired, I had both a pension and Social Security benefits. That man was not my husband. He was not my family member. He was a knowledgeable, caring individual who saw something I couldn't see yet. I am so glad I learned to value the men God placed in my life. So I went to work on my debt. I couldn't fix it right away. I ended up filing for bankruptcy before I was 30. But what I learned from that experience has stayed with me for over 40 years. If you cannot pay for it in cash, you don't need it. If you have credit card and you cannot pay off what you charge, do not charge it. Save first, budget first, spend what is left. Financial preparation is an act of faith. It says you believe a partnership is coming and you want to be ready to build with someone, not hand them your problems to carry or your debt. Being willing to receive hard truth about your finances, even when it's uncomfortable, is part of what makes you ready. But your finances and your personal growth can only take you so far if the people around you are pulling you in the wrong direction. Your social circle in your 30s and 40s is not the same as it was in your 20s, or at least it shouldn't be. The women you spend the most time with influence how you think, what you settle for, and how you see yourself. This is not about cutting people off. It's about being honest about who is adding to your life and who is keeping you stuck. If every woman in your close circle is bitter about men, convinced marriage is impossible, or constantly reinforcing a victim mindset about being single, that thinking will start to shape you too. That environment produces something different in you. Some women resist this and say, I'm not going to abandon my friends. Nobody is saying abandon anyone. But you do have to be selective about who gets your most vulnerable conversations, your deepest dreams, and your most significant time. A woman who spends every weekend complaining with the same group of friends about the same problems will still be having those same conversations 5 years from now if you don't change. Your environment is either preparing you or keeping you comfortable in a place you said you didn't want to stay. Choose accordingly. Here is what I know for certain. The season you're in right now is not wasted time, but what you do with it will determine everything. Start building. Get your finances straight if they're not, and be very intentional about who you let into your inner circle. The life you have been praying for is not out of your reach. It is waiting on your preparation to catch up with your faith. If this video gave you something to think about, please like it, share it with the woman in your life who needs to hear this, and leave a thoughtful comment. I'm Deborah, and this is Family Still Matters. I pray that this content has put you on the path to manifesting your best self. May God continue to richly bless you. God bless.